How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. This is the Dreame X60 Max Ultra Complete Pro Plus 123. Just kidding, it's just the Dreame X60 Max Ultra Complete. Normally it includes some solutions and an extra bag. The complete part gives you a whole bunch of replacement accessories, including a side brush, a replacement dual brush, 2 filters, a big bottle of surface cleaner, 2 extra vacuum bags, and 3 extra sets of mops. The main feature here is the AI enhanced camera system in the front. That's a stereo camera. With this, it can recognize more than 280 different kinds of objects. We'll test this out in this video with a bunch of different objects and see if it can avoid them. Let's first do an overview here. Clean and water dirty tanks, this is typical. If you open up the station here, it uses a vacuum bag. It has dual solutions, one for the multi-purpose, and second, it could be for pets or hardwood floors. In the station here, this is the feature that you see in recent models where it has like a little heating element right where the mops are. They use a thing called a PTC heating system, which is basically what's under these little pads over here. It just heats up. PTC stands for positive temperature coefficient. As it heats up, it gets more resistive. Therefore, when it's cold, it heats up very rapidly, and when it reaches the proper temperature, the resistance goes up, so then it's somewhat like a self-regulating heater. Many times they like to say that this area pad here can reach up to 100 degrees or 212 degrees Fahrenheit. Technically, because this area is just maybe like 1/3 of the mop still spins around there, so it's gonna distribute the heat. That means it's not gonna get the entire mop all the way up to 100 degrees. Only this little area is gonna be 100 degrees. In my testing, the mops themselves gets pretty hot, up to maybe 90 degrees Fahrenheit or so, after you take it out and flip it over and measure it. The internal size of the vacuum compartment is typical. There's a little filter in here. It uses the dual mop system. This little movement allows it to do edge and corner cleaning, as well as this little side brush here. This extends outwards. If you look at the wheels, these are the advanced kind where it can climb over stuff. It can go over what they call a combined threshold of 8.8 centimeters, although not one single step, meaning that it needs to be multiple steps, and each step can be a maximum of 4.5 centimeters. So this is not quite a stair step, so it's not going to be able to climb stairs or anything. But if you have like a little step in your home that goes from one area to another, this thing can go over that. Here's a look at the wheel mechanism. It's spring loaded. As I spin this, it's also geared to this one as well, and this little arm can allow it to climb over thresholds. Here's a look at the brushes. You have a full rubber one here, and another one that's a rubber and a bristle combined. These spin in opposite directions. In case any dirt gets pushed this way, it would catch those and bring it towards inside. Now, if I open this up, as it spins, it tries to push all the dirt towards one end. Around this brush is a little bit special. If this sits on the floor, there's a bunch of holes, and the more holes you have, the more air gets leaked in. There's an extra piece of plastic that can come up so it can shield this, so it can increase the suction in this area as needed. Around the edge, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 light detectors. These help it know that if it falls off the edge, the light that bounces back off the floor won't come back, so it knows it's off the edge and it will keep the robot from falling. I'll do the standard vacuum and mop test out the latest features such as the threshold crossing or the AI cameras. Then we're gonna figure out if this performs well and if it's worth the money. Let's do an initial vacuum test with paper shreds and pet hair. As usual, I'll spread it evenly everywhere, including the edges, and also rub in some pet hair. Spread it evenly, but leave it a little bit clumped so that we can see it easier on the camera. Keep in mind, this is pretty much a worst case scenario. You'll probably never see your carpet this dirty, unless maybe you've been playing with glitter or hitting a piñata. You would get all this all over the floor like this. Since this is the first time the robot is running in this living room, it needs to map the area first. I did the max section with triple pass. There's only one tiny speck here. In terms of pet hair, nothing I can see here. I can't pick any up. Oh, there's one tiny piece of hair here. But if you look on the back wall here, there's a strip of paper shreds that's not picked up at all over here. Dreame robots do not have the side brush turned on when it's vacuuming carpet, so I'm going to show you guys how to turn that on. Select your robot, select the upper right gear icon. It's this hexagonal thing, and then select the carpet cleaning icon under common settings. This part is a little bit confusing because at first I just thought, hey, if you want to remove the mop on carpet, select that. I did not select that to see that there's more options after you select it. So here it says remove mop on carpet, and underneath that there's other settings. At the fourth one over here, it says side brush rotating on carpet. That's what you want. And this goes the same for the Dreame line of robotic vacuums. Once you turn that on, the performance is gonna be a lot better. So now that I have that turned on, I'm gonna spread the debris around on the carpet again, and we can see it perform much better along the carpet edges. There's a strip of paper shreds along the edge, probably because I was using the quick route. So I'm gonna switch to the standard route on maximum suction power, and then we're gonna try this again. With the standard route, it did a lot better. I don't see any more pet hair over here. There is a little piece of paper shred on the edge right here, but it kind of curved down. So I don't think any robot could actually do this. There are a few tiny pieces here, and the one that's over the edge is this piece. This is it. This is all that's left over. Very good result. This is like one of the top few that can do this. Now let's test out the AI obstacle recognition. I'll put my shoe over here. These little small USB cables are often found on the floor, and if it gets in the rollers, it just kind of screws them up a little bit. Sometimes it burns the rubber. So we'll see if it avoids that. This is a dog leash. It's kind of chewed up and it's kind of close to the color of the carpet. So we'll see if it avoids that. And I have something that's a little bit hard, a red screwdriver. So I'm going to put this over here and we'll give this a shot. Nothing too terrible happened. It pushed around this solid screwdriver around a little bit. That's not an issue. It didn't get sucked up underneath the robot. It's kind of bright red and it should have picked that up. The shoe was big enough that it completely avoided it. It didn't even touch it at all. The cord was the same, except we saw that it kind of backed up into it a little bit, pushed it a little bit, but it never went too close to the roller, so it wasn't in danger of getting sucked in. These cords here used to be over here, so it pushed it around a little bit. Fortunately, it didn't get sucked in and tangled in the rollers. The most important is to avoid thin cords and keep the robot running so that it can go back to the base without you having to intervene, flip it over and fix it. Or maybe sometimes if it sucks in the cord, it actually can break the rollers. I've seen that before where it keeps on spinning and the rubber gets burned and it cuts into it. So it did not do that and everything is fine. Carpet is cleaner now. For the mop test, I brewed the same kind of tea. I'm doing it in the same area. Because of the size of the robot, it can't get into this little strip over here. It also can't get too far into this wedge, but pretty much everywhere else is fair game. However, because of the mop radius, it can't get to the very corners over there, and all those other corners. I put some tea there anyway, just so that we can know how far into the corner it can get. The tea stains are dried on really well. It doesn't smear at all. To do a mop only session, I can go to this icon here, says go. Select this right here. And I'm gonna do mop only, where I can select the mop wetness. I'm gonna make it go the highest. And then I'm also gonna select a deep cleaning. Let's start it. This robot did something interesting where if it sees a large stain, it goes back to the docking station, cleaned its mops, and comes back out. It did this 2 times, and then finally it went back to the original mopping session and did the entire floor. Whenever it recognizes a huge stain, it actually seems to press harder, so therefore it's just trying to scrub a little bit more. There's a small stain right here, here, and here. Pretty minor in terms of what's left over. If you select a different route, it might actually perform better and possibly get to those spots it didn't reach before. It couldn't reach this one, but the corners are forgivable because of the radius of the mop itself. So I'm gonna run it one more time and see if it can pick up the rest of these stains in the corners. Overall, after running it a few times, it did a pretty good job in removing all the tea stains, except for one minor one over here. It even got a light one that was resting over here. Most of these robots with spinning mops can also extend the mop outwards toward the edges, so it can mop along the edges, and when it needs to turn, it needs to retract those mops, give it a turn, extend the mops back out into the corner, and then it can go along the other edge. The mops can also retract into the machine, so wet mops will not drag along your carpet. The front AI sensing cameras also emit infrared light, so it can detect the difference between grains on tile or hardwood floor that may appear to be stains but are not. And whenever it detects stains, it will light up this blue light to let you know that it sensed something. Watch what it does when it attempts to climb over steps. The little wheels extend itself, makes it a little bit taller. Then it rolls forward onto the step. When it reaches the step, one of the wheels drive forward, kind of scooting it left into the step, and then it scoots right into the step some more. Finally, when it goes over, both wheels drives forward. Let's watch that again from a different angle. The robot comes up, moves forward into the step, drives forward the left wheel into the step, drive forward the right wheel into the step, and over it goes. With a height of just 7.95 centimeters or about 3.15 inches, it can easily retract the navigation module and vacuum underneath your furniture. When it's done, it comes back out and the navigation module pops back up. Keep in mind, this is Dreame's flagship model, so it has all the bells and whistles in it. Exceptional vacuum performance, but you do have to enable the side brush manually yourself. The mop performance is also very good. It can reach corners very well, but you are limited by the radius of these mops. So it can't get all the way to the corners, right? There's a little area right here. In terms of AI object recognition, it did say it can recognize hundreds of objects, but not every single object conceivable. It was able to recognize my shoe, some USB cables, but not pieces of a dog leash. That's probably not typical, but it should have recognized a screwdriver, especially since it's bright red. Overall, with the AI camera, it was able to avoid a catastrophe, avoid breaking itself because it did not suck in the USB cable. I've seen some robotic vacuums do that and they just kind of run over it, suck it in, and it just stops. You have to go and flip it over, take it out, fix it, and sometimes it damages it. It's not a cheap robot. This one has all the bells and whistles, some of them including the AI camera and this new heated mop area thing that would heat up your mop. If you guys are interested in getting this Dreame X60 Max Ultra Complete, check out my affiliate link down in the video description below. Thanks for watching this video. Until next time.